Hello and welcome back. In this video I thought I'd share with you some tips and tricks for if you're caravanning or motorhoming and staying in campsites in mainland Europe. Now, something that we found to be the case in quite a few of the campsites that we've stayed in, particularly in Spain, Italy and Switzerland, is that the pitches are much tighter in mainland Europe than they are in the UK. And if you don't already have a motor mover, I would certainly consider getting one. Particularly if you are a twin axle caravan like we are, I know that we would not have managed to get onto a lot of the pitches if we didn't have a motor mover. Even the roads in between the pitches are very tight in a lot of the campsites in mainland Europe, and people can just park anywhere, and they will park anywhere and everywhere. There isn't a set way that we found that you need to pitch up your caravan in mainland Europe, like on a lot of the caravan and motorhome club sites where you have to pitch a certain way. In mainland Europe, anything goes. You can pitch any way you like. You find that a lot of the caravans tend to pitch sideways on, so they're opening the door out onto the widthways of their pitch. So yeah, you can pitch anywhere you want in mainland Europe, but they are much tighter, the pitches. And if you don't have a motor mover, I do think you would struggle. We have had to pitch without a motor mover when we left our motor mover remote in Italy. When we left that campsite and we headed to Germany, we turned up at the campsite and realised we didn't have our motor mover remote. And that's why you see lots of people having their motor mover remote on a luminous lanyard around their neck, so they don't make the mistake that we did and leave it behind and lose it. We've since put an app on our phones now, which we have, and we use that as our remote then to motor move the caravan. Sometimes it can drop in and out of signal, but it's just what we've had to do, as unfortunately we've not been able to get hold of a remote that we can use for our motor mover. So yeah, if you don't already have a motor mover on your caravan, particularly if you're a twin axle caravan and you're heading to mainland Europe, I would certainly look at investing in one of those. Now, the ampage on most of the pitches that we stopped at has been quite low, typically around 6 amp. And if you have a normal electric kettle like we do, as soon as we flick it on, it trips the electric. So I would definitely recommend investing in one of these camping kettles. Obviously you can get them from lots of different places. I picked up this one from Amazon. I think it was around £15, and then I can just use it on the electric or gas hob in the caravan, and without tripping the electric I could have my cup of tea. Also, another thing that you may want to get is one of these continental conversion leads. As I open it up, you can see it's just got the 2-pin for your electric hookup. We've not had to use this in France, however we did have to use it for the first time and the only time in Spain when we had our electric hookup. So I definitely recommend getting one of those. They're quite reasonable. I think we got that from Eurocar Parts, and they're less than £10, so definitely worth having in your front locker. We found that when we were in Switzerland you needed a different adapter again. Luckily the campsite hired them out, so you paid a deposit, you got it for your stay, and then you returned it and got your deposit back. So we didn't invest in one for Switzerland, as we knew we could hire it from the campsite anyway, but definitely recommend looking at getting one of these. Also, something that you may want to consider investing in is some walkie-talkies. They're not only great for if you're in mainland Europe, but also in the UK when you're reversing onto a pitch or motor moving your caravan onto the pitch and someone's at the back. They're really handy for talking to them on. We also found them handy when we were in convoy with our friends who also had a twin axle caravan, and we were touring around, and instead of racking up loads on our roads of roaming charges, we were able to speak with them on our walkie-talkies. So I definitely recommend getting some walkie-talkies. Now, another thing that we've got is this plug for reverse polarity. Now, I don't know a lot about it, so Jamie, why do we have this in the caravan?
All we bought it for because the first time we went to France, I'd heard a lot about reverse polarity in older caravans, and it can be dangerous because some of the older caravans are only single pole. So if the electrics trips and you're on a reverse polarity site or hook up, then it means that it can still be live. It won't actually cut the power off. Also, if you just had your toaster plugged in and you think you've switched it off, then it could actually still be live. So not that you would, but if someone put their fingers into the toaster, the element, you could get a shock from it. Just things like that. It's just to make sure that it is actually wired up the same as it is here.
With this reverse polarity plug, you can simply plug it in and check if there is reverse polarity. And also, I would invest in some green toilet fluid for if you're staying on a site in mainland Europe, because a lot of the campsites, the Elson point goes straight to a septic tank, and so the green toilet fluid is much better for it. So I would definitely recommend getting that. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, please do comment in the comment box below, and also share with me any tips or tricks that you have for staying on European campsites. Please do consider liking and subscribing to the channel. Your support is much appreciated. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. Many thanks for watching, and take care.